Well, hello all my little puffs out there. Caddie here with you today, feeling, well, a little more festive than usual. I hope you're not offended, and if you are, put that in the comments. Let me know how offended you are that I wore something, Christmassy. It's October. I'm actually posting this today, so wait, go ahead. All right, you done? Everybody's gonna do that over? Good. All right, let's go with fun stuff. So, um, this is the first full week having finished. It's Saturday now. It finished last night, but for part of what I'm about to discuss, I didn't have time yesterday to record a video. Uh, but the good news is the first week on the early schedule went by great. Um, I had no trouble getting up for work any of the days. No more than usual. The alarm clock wakes me up. It's one of those. It does. It's not a pleasant experience ever, but it successfully did its job. I didn't sleep through the beat. Um, And after having gotten up at 8/8:10, 8 when the alarm goes off, 8:10 is when my only snooze goes off, for 5 days straight. Last night into Saturday morning here, I slept in as much as I felt like I should or could. And I actually was out of bed before 9 in reality, which is a big change from where I had been getting up on the weekends. Having had a 9:30/9:40 alarm clock set up, I weekdays I was getting up at close to 11 most times. So that's a couple more hours earlier, having woken up and felt well rested. Um, now, smart thing, since I had the time in the evening and I felt like I had the energy for it. Instead of grocery shopping on Saturday morning like I had been doing, I grocery shopped on Friday night, right after work. I left the house within a couple of minutes. I, took time to put on my shoes and pick up my keys and, go pee before I left the house. That's an important one. Go pee before you leave the house on a trip. It'll save you time and you don't have to use a public restroom. Yay! Um, Almost everything was as it would have normally been on a Saturday morning trip, except one minor change. The guy at the meat counter at Meijer was no longer there by the time I got there a little after 7. I start at Walmart and then I go to Meijer because I buy the cheaper stuff first. So I missed out on getting to pick up my steak from the meat counter, but I did find some good ones in the meat vaults next to the meat counter today. So, uh, it was not bad. I still got a good couple of steaks for Sunday, and we'll enjoy those. We'll enjoy those. Uh, but I successfully left the house a little after 6. I was back in the house after doing 2 stores, all the weekly grocery shopping, uh, by 7:40. So yay on that. And we'd already set up. We were having a pizza for dinner last night. Um, and Autumn started after he got off work and before I got back. So a little while after I got back, we ate pizza. But because it's pizza, I was feeling kind of logy in the tummy afterwards, even with a couple of milk pills and some antacids. I just didn't feel like doing a video. This can easily change next week, depending on what we have for dinner that night. Say frozen Chinese food, I might feel better, which was the other option. And we probably will have next week anyway, because I think that's a good idea. Um, but overall, feeling pretty good. So far, it was nice getting up on a Saturday and not feeling like I had to rush to get out of the house to go do the shopping. And I mostly relaxed around. I made some semi-fresh breakfast. I still had some leftover pancakes from last week, so I heated them up in the toaster oven and threw some eggs on the griddle and a sausage patty and had a good old breakfast. And 2 double shots of espresso because I like coffee. um, just relaxed after that for a while. Took a shower. I don't like to take it right after I wake up. I like to not be unconscious when I'm putting soap on my face and or putting a razor up to my cheeks. That's just me. I like to be able to know that I'm not going to burn my eyes out, or slice my face open any more than usual. If anything, spoiler alert about me, I'm probably an evening shower whenever possible. But weekends, I try and do it earlier, so I'm, clean most of the day. Uh, did pick up a new game, and I got the Metroid Dread. Um, I'm going to give a preliminary review as to how I felt so far. If I didn't look up a walkthrough after about apparently 2% of the game, I would have never played the game again. Eh. Now, I am a Metroid fan. I have been playing since the Nintendo. I've played through and beat the original Metroid. Metroid. I never beat the Game Boy second one. I do own a copy of it now, actual copy of it. I should do that eventually. Zero Mission, Super Metroid, uh, Metroid Fusion, all of which completed no problem. In fact, most of those ones I have, gotten almost every unlockable. Every once in a while there will be a special trick to do. One, I do the shine spark and then stop it and spin jumpy and do a thing and re-spark and sometimes that I can't wrap my stupid little kitty brain around. So, but to say the least, I know what I'm doing with a Metroid game. I can usually spot the things, and I tend to not look up any kind of guide on these until I have gotten all the way through, and I thought I'd looked everywhere I could think of to find the extras. And usually it'll be like, oh, if I put a bomb here on a wall that it didn't even have any clue, and oh, there'll be a secret room. Stuff like that. So I try not to look up any of those walkthroughs until I have completed the game. The fact that I had to look up a walkthrough here at apparently 2% in, after very angrily wanting to rage quit the game, almost not wanting to even try again for as bad as it was, that says something. Uh, I'm okay with unbeatable enemies. Um, this has been a thing before. Metroid Fusion had the Seiya X, which was effectively basically unbeatable until the very, 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 very end. It was like the first half of the final boss kind of thing. It was the real final boss. I felt the Omega Metroid was just kind of you know, kind of a climactic event, not so much the real final battle. Um, so in that game, they did the invincible nemesis way better than this. These the stupid robots that you cannot kill, except with the ultimate doodly doo of power. Um, no, just no. Uh, because even the Seiya X, if it caught you, it could hurt you a lot, but it didn't kill you immediately. This one, it comes in contact with you. If you let the zombie touch you effectively, you are now 100% dead. There's no avoiding it, there's no getting out of it. It's just you're dead. And you have to restart that section, or possibly a much larger section because of that. Um, I don't like that. I feel that is a cheap way to be. One of the best things about Metroid is you would slowly get better in the game, and you'd get more abilities. I don't know, you found the various suit, you got more defense, you get more energy tanks, you got more health, more rockets, some new special thing, a screw attack, or grapple beam, or whatever, and you are suddenly now slightly more badass. And now that bad guy from back at the beginning of the game is just a little bit more easily killed. And for that matter, almost every bad guy is still easily killed, able to be killed with your basic weaponry, either just your basic blaster or your rockets. It wasn't until you hit Metroids themselves in the first game that you had to use both the ice beam, and a rocket to kill the Metroids. And pretty much every Metroid game has been about the same. Other than a few different points where there's an enemy that's necessarily special, and you just like need a new special weapon. Usually you get that almost immediately after you run into said special bad guy. Having completely invincible bad guys that there are a lot of, not cool. Um, Now you can kill them if you get the magical piece of power thing, as far as I'd like to refer to it, and that's you get them at so far 2 points I've run into that, and you get to kill one of these critters. And they're not even really super clear on how. Um, and you can make as many shots you want with the super magic piece of power until you kill one of them, and it apparently sucks all the magic power out of you as it dies. It makes sense for game flow, but it does not make sense in the form of technology. It just no, does not make sense. um, and the puzzles so far have been really, really cryptic, even for Metroid standards. Usually in Metroid, you can kind of figure out what you need to do. There's a wall in front of you, there's moss only growing down to so far, you figure you need to shoot at that wall. Uh, there are a few times where there's been a red glowy thing you need to shoot at, but a lot of times in this one so far, I've had trouble even telling what is the doors. Uh, Sometimes something looks like what was a door in a previous room, but that's not a door. Uh, and the way they do some of the more interesting open doors does not make as much sense. I'm not very far, I'm about 4% in, so this knowledge is hopefully not going to spoil the game for anybody. Um, the doors that open with your basic blaster are yellow. The doors that you need to use a charged blast on are not lit up yellow. Huh? That's how they determine it. It's just one that isn't lit up. You need to use a charge blaster for it. They explain why it doesn't work in the first place. They don't even explain when you get the charge blaster that works. Figure that out on your own. I liked in previous games where they made them color coded. Super Metroid, we had this right. Uh, Regular door, blue, opens. Missile door, red. Super missile, green. Bomb, super bomb, yellow. Even Metroid Fusion had a special door system, and they told you about it right in the first section. There were 4 different color-coded doors, and they're locked by security locks. And you had to unlock the security lock, and then those doors open. It made sense. It was simple. It had a purpose. This, so far, doesn't. And not all the doors look the same. Some doors are just kind of these weird portals. Some don't have a door at all. It doesn't make a lot of sense. The look of it is so muddy. I I'm not playing this on the handheld version either. I'm playing it on a 60-inch 4K TV. So I have a nice big display. and the whole game looks like somebody has smeared mud all over my TV. Uh, the bad guys mostly blend into the background. It's hard to tell sometimes if they're really part of the game. Um, a few times I ended up in water. I didn't realize it until I couldn't jump very well. I was like, oh, I must be in water. Okay, cool. There are hot and cold areas. The only way I noticed was I looked up and saw my health was going down really fast. Otherwise, I would not have known that. There's very little to indicate that I was in a hot room or a cold room. Um, and the controls are not very tight. Uh, a lot of times I found myself stuck hanging onto a wall and I can't get off, or I try to hang onto a wall so I can climb up and I just kind of bounce off the edge. Uh, I'll try and do the slide move because that's the only way right now I can get under short things. I haven't had the morph ball yet. I've been playing this game for several hours now. I don't have the morph ball yet. When have you played a Metroid game that you haven't had the morph ball in the first 20 minutes? That's almost like Control 101 with Metroid, and it's not there right now. Now, when I get to any of the actual bosses they've seen, hard but fair, I'll give them that. The bosses so far are the best parts, and I'm on the second actual boss critter. I stopped there. It wasn't because I rage quit at this point. It was more of a I just did a bunch of things. I was expecting more searching and questing phase, and all of a sudden I'm already at a boss. I'm like, I get it a couple times. No, I need a fiver, and I went and did stuff, including this. Uh, so yeah, I can't necessarily recommend this game for everyone either. So even if you're a big Metroid fan, you may not be too happy. I even mentioned on Twitter after the point that I initially rage quit and what I rage quit on, and I had other people coming and saying, "Oh my God, that's exactly where I had to stop too," and looking for the solution to that problem at the third unkillable robot section. Uh, Everyone will probably recognize immediately. There's a big yellow block that has 3 lights on it that you can shoot at. And the lights light up, and that's not the solution to the problem. There's a spot down lower, opposite corner of the big room, you have to stop and stand on, which will make water come in. Nothing tells you that that spot looks like there's a switch, other than it is a slightly different color than the rest of the floor. And this is a section where there were several ports that looked slightly different than the rest of the other floor. But this one particular spot is different, and you stand on it for a bit, and the water comes in and raises the lower floor. All while you're being chased by if you get touched by it, you're immediately dead robot. And shortly after, I ended up at one of those you can then kill because you get another magic piece of power. They say use the charge blast on his face to knock his faceplate off. I thought because it was a boss and I was hitting with the charge blast, it's going to take just a bunch of charge blasts. I hit it with probably 20 of those before I figured out I should go look this up online. Apparently, no, you don't use the charge blast. The game tells you to use it. You are supposed to use the regular blast until you knock the faceplate off. Then use the charge blast, which is the exact opposite of what the game tells you to do. So I'm hoping the game gets better. I'm hoping I get past all these invincible robots soon because that part has gotten old real quick. I like to get in some basic Metroid excitement, going through dungeons, killing monsters with my pew pew gun, and firing rockets, and using morph ball, and jumping around and doing silly stuff. That makes me happy. Metroid, please give me that in a few moments. I really want to have fun with you. Anyway, I babbled about my week and my gameplay. I think I'm gonna relax, maybe eat some snackage, and then maybe play another attempt at that boss. So, um, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the little dingsy bell for the little dingsy bell. Let you know when I post new videos. Who knows? Could be this line. Could be this cute little Christmas outfit. And of course, both my Patreon link and my Coffee link are in the description box below. Both of which are good ways to help support me and my channel. Well, again, thank you for spending time with me. I look forward to seeing you again real soon. The lion thinks you're all special little fluffs. We look forward to seeing you again real soon. Bye bye, kids.